Hello, and welcome to School Health Presents, working with our exceptional individuals during the COVID-19 pandemic. I'm Dr. Rheipp. Today we're going to focus on the mental health side of things as we continue to hear how so many are struggling to understand exactly what's going on. And especially our exceptional individuals really are having a difficult time putting all of this together. There's a lot of fear, a lot of concern, and a lot of being frightened. We recognize that as neurotypical adults, we too have difficulties understanding all of this. We have our own concerns being when we'll be able to get outside again and convene with people, have parties and celebrations. Some of us too are worried on the economic side of things. How is the economy going to suffer from this? What about our jobs? What about what's going on? One of the things we want to remember is that our exceptional individuals can also feel that tension, that frustration that we're feeling too. And it just heightens things because they're not in a position to be able to understand all that well what's happening. As I was speaking with some friends, online of course, and we were discussing this, somebody made a great statement and they said, this feels like an episode of The Twilight Zone. Now imagine this, it may feel like an episode of The Twilight Zone to you and I, but for an exceptional individual, it feels like another dimension, like the world has completely changed. And there just really is no response as to how to handle that. So we want to make sure that we're doing things and sharing things that are providing at least a sense of calm with some specific information that's not a lie. We can't turn around to our exceptional individuals just like we can't turn around to our children and even ourselves and say, oh, at such and such point in time, everything's going to be just like it was. It will never be just like it was. However, there will be adjustments that have been made and there will be things that allow us to move forward in a very positive fashion. So the first thing that I want to share with you is that I'm going to go over in this video techniques that you want to be considering when you're going about having this discussion. The second thing I want to share with you is that the next video in this series is going to be completely different. Instead of me speaking with you and relating things we can be doing at home or talking about some of the things and approaches that we've been sharing, it's going to be a video targeting our exceptional individuals and our children. And so part of that video is going to be a dialogue between myself and my good friend Lambykins. And Lambykins is going to be sharing some of the concerns that she's having right now as we go through this. There are some other great videos and stories that are out there and are being designed for our kids. So check YouTube, check other avenues. I know that Sesame Street did a wonderful thing in trying to handle what is happening in today's society. And there's a lot of other things too. So view them first, see what's going to make sense. But know that the next video in this series will be about a 5 to 6 minute video that just talks through some things. But again, gives things in a way that we need to look at life in general. So we're going to be basing things on facts, and we're going to be talking through what will be happening in the future. What are those things? What do we want to make sure we emphasize? Well, first and foremost, wash your hands and do that on a regular basis. It's very interesting because there's always that perception, especially some of us who've come from earlier generations, where it was fine, just go outside. The only time you need to wash your hands is when you come in from playing just before you eat dinner. And then you still have dirt on one side of your hands. That's not acceptable anymore. We need to make sure that, again, we're getting any germs, any viruses off our hands. So the critical thing to do is to talk about the most important times to wash hands. Before you eat something, after you're outside playing, after you've gone to the bathroom, and before you get involved in an activity with some friends. Then when you're done with that activity, be ready to wash your hands too. And just talk about soap and water. That's what we're finding, that soap is going to work, whether you're using bar soap, liquid soap, foaming soap. Use what's going to be best for that individual. Teach them then the proper way to wash hands, which is you get that lather going. Now, you may not be calling it lather. You'll hear in the video that we've got coming up, we're calling it bubbles. And we're talking about painting the hands. So you've got it all over the hands and in between the hands, because we know that in between the fingers is a very sensitive area. So getting them to understand, you paint the hands with that lather, with those bubbles first. And then you begin rubbing them together, both sides. And we'll demonstrate this, and rubbing the fingers together too. And demonstrate doing it by singing happy birthday to oneself too, taking up even more time as we go through. And once happy birthday is done, rinse the hands off, making sure again you're rubbing both sides and in between the fingers, then drying the hands. So we'll be talking about that. Washing hands is of the utmost importance. The second thing we want to be aware of are masks. Masks can be frightening. And I know people are looking at all different types of masks, and I appreciate all of the heavy-duty work going on out there. Everyone who's using 3D printers now to make masks for our frontline personnel, thank you so much for doing that. But the reality with masks is some of our individuals are still going to be frightened. Why? Because of the perception of masks. There's something wrong if you're wearing a mask. Well, yeah, technically there is. We're going to, in the video, talk about something funny where Lamikins is going to refer to a mask as making her look like a bank robber. Well, that is where we've seen many masks before when it comes to movies. You know, we think about that. That's what the bad guy wears as they're coming in, when the reality is superheroes are the ones that really wear the mask, and they are doctors and nurses. So we want to keep that in mind. We also want to talk about the fact that, yes, the mask is going to feel kind of warm, might feel a little bit uncomfortable, but it's necessary. It helps. It's part of making sure that the environment as a whole is healthy. Now, again, base it on facts for your own information first. This is not necessarily something you'd share with them, but the purpose for a mask is not so that you stop anything from getting in your mouth. The purpose for the mask is to make sure you're protecting everyone around you in the area around you from your own respiratory droplets. Why? The droplets are the carrier of the virus itself. And so by wearing a mask, what we're doing is we're protecting others around us. You're saying, well, how do I protect myself? Well, you've got your mask on, you've been involved in some things, wash your hands. That's the basic way to get rid of things. If you can't wash your hands, you want to look at different types of hand sanitizers. You know, just find a hand sanitizer that you can use and go forth. I'll be talking about safe hands in that video with Lamikins, but there's other things out there. There's TheraWorks, and there's all kinds of little types of hand sanitizer that you can be using. When should you be using hand sanitizer as opposed to soap and water? Whenever you have no access to soap and water, that's when you want to use that. So explain to the students that this is something when you're on a field trip, when you're out in the yard and you need to get your hands clean quickly before eating a meal. That's when a hand sanitizer is very good to use. So masks, washing hands, cleaning up after oneself, that's an important thing. So talk about how to use some type of a wipe. Talk about wiping things down if they're able to do so. If they're not, just tell them you need to make sure you keep everything as clean as possible. The other thing, again, depending on the individual that you may want to bring up, are wearing gloves. Why do I bring that up? We have some of our individuals who may have some other health issues or physical conditions that we've got some concerns about where it's not as easy to wash their hands. So gloves may be appropriate for them. Make sure, first of all, you're getting the correct types of gloves for them. Make sure that if that individual has any allergies, you're taking a look to see if that glove has any latex in it or not. Take your time. Be cautious about what you're presenting. I'm only giving you ideas and a brief outline here, and I know there are other groups out there that are saying this is exactly how you should do it for every child. That's wrong. Why is that wrong? Because they don't know the individual with whom you're dealing. You do. Gloves might be inappropriate or might be very appropriate. Washing hands is appropriate for most individuals, but we sometimes deal with individuals that don't have hands. So we also need to take that into account. Wearing masks. You may not believe in wearing masks, and that's okay, but be aware that in some circumstances, those individuals may need to wear a mask. So those are important things to talk about as we go through. The most important thing is to stay calm as you're going through this discussion and explain that, yes, it's okay to be sad, to be scared, to be angry, because guess what? That's what we're going through too, and it's okay. We just shouldn't be taking it out on other people. What should we be doing? Use that as the foundation for an exercise, even if it's something as simple as taking a walk around the block. Even if it's something as simple as, if you're in an area that still allows for bike riding, go for a bike ride. Just don't get into groups and follow proper social distancing cues. And explain that to our individuals, because some of them are frightened that they will never see and play with their friends again. That's a lie. They will. It may take some time, but we will get back there. So calm them down. Allow them to work in that area and see at the end of that if they're at least a little bit calmer. In the same way, take a look at yourselves. I know there's a lot of stress and a lot of pressures out there right now, and this is not an easy time for anyone. But please watch and be concerned about how you're reacting to everything. Don't get caught into some of the mentalities that are out there that allows you to get even more frustrated, that allows your heart rate to increase. Relax and approach things. Do what you need to do, but first of all, do what you need to do for yourself. Take that time each day just to relax, center yourself. Be open and honest with our individuals, but most importantly, key in on washing hands, on the potential for wearing masks, on cleaning up after oneself. Those are important things. And also, probably the most important thing, and you'll hear this in that video, make sure that as you're going through, you constantly reinforce your care and concern for those individuals and the care and concern for yourself.